What's going on, everybody? Welcome into episode 116 of the MudWatch Sports Podcast on this Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. I'm your host, Zach Malum. But before we get started, please subscribe below. Follow all of my social accounts. Let's start things off in the world of football as both of your teams were in action this weekend. We'll start things out in Denver as the New York Giants took on the Denver Broncos on Sunday afternoon. Somehow, someway, the Giants lose this game 33-32 on the road. But that does not nearly tell the story. The Giants had a 19-0 lead heading into the fourth quarter and then had a 26-8 lead with just over 5 minutes to go. Denver comes all the way back with multiple touchdowns, 3 of them in the span of about 4 minutes, where they go and cut a 26-8 lead and take the lead actually at 30-26. Bo Nix finished it off with an 18-yard rushing touchdown, but that was not all. The Giants had a chance at the end, really behind one of the worst pass interference calls you're ever going to see, as the Giants catch a break and they get down to the 2-yard line, and Jackson Dart runs it in 1 yard actually, and 37 seconds to go. You're thinking the Giants have this one in the bag. All they got to do is hit the extra point and just get a stop on defense. They miss the extra point with a new kicker in the lineup, and they have a 32-30 lead that they just have to hold on to. 37 seconds to go. Denver has no timeouts, and Bo Nix throws a slinger to Marvin Mims in the middle of the field. Then he throws another one to Courtland Sutton that he doesn't get out of bounds, but has enough time to spike the ball for a 39-yard field goal. That's all it took for Denver to win this game, even though they had the entire field to go down with just about 30 seconds to go. They win this game 33-32, a heartbreaking gut punch loss to move the Giants to 2-5 on the year, and the Broncos move to 5-2. And when you look at it in the end, the biggest moment of the game in my mind, Jackson Dart looked really good on the afternoon, had 3 passing touchdowns along with a rushing touchdown, over 200 yards. But his interception at the wrong time really gave the Broncos all the momentum that they needed. They were down by 10 at that point. Dart throws the interception. R.J. Harvey then scores shortly after. It's a 3-point game, and you completely get the crowd back into it and the Broncos back into it, as just 2 minutes after that, I mentioned Bo Nix, an 18-yard rushing touchdown to give the Broncos the lead. And really the chance at the end was the other big story of the game, how bad the Giants defense was in the fourth quarter. They looked like they completely eliminated the Broncos for the first 3 quarters, and the fourth quarter just completely went downhill. The secondary was woeful. They had a couple of injuries in the game, and that probably hurt them in the end. But they go into that last drive, and how do you not just send everybody back and play deep man coverage, but also keeping an eye on the ball? They had a wide open wide receiver, Denver did, on the 50-yard line. That just cannot happen, and the Giants paid for it. They lose this one 33-32, and a loss that you're really thinking about in the end, and you're saying, yeah, that's the ups and downs of a rookie quarterback. Jackson Dart had a great game, but it can all go downhill with just one moment. That's kind of the decision-making that you saw at Ole Miss, the growing pains that you're going to have to learn from with Jackson Dart at quarterback. So the Giants fall to 2-5 after they looked like they were moving easily to 3-4. Could have been a completely different season from then on in, but now they sit plenty of games back now in the NFC East, and the Eagles won. They also had the Cowboys win, so it's really looking unlikely that the Giants really make a strong push right now for the playoffs. That's not to say they can't. They have a pretty much easier schedule than they've had for the first 7-8 weeks of the season. Coming up, they have some solid games. It does start with a tough game on the road, though, as the Eagles, they have to travel to, and Philadelphia probably has a lot of motivation coming off of that Thursday Night Football beating that the Giants gave them a couple of weeks ago. But then you have the Niners, followed by the Bears, Packers, Lions, Patriots, Commanders, and Vikings, with the Raiders and Cowboys to end the year. It does not get much easier in these next couple of games. Shortly after that, I think, though, the Giants can get comfortable and figure out ways to win. They did get 2 wins out of this stretch where you didn't think they were going to get really any. I think the biggest game that you thought they were going to get a win was the New Orleans Saints on the road. One of the worst teams in football, should have handled business there, but instead they win the weeks right around it in the Chargers and the Eagles, 2 of the best teams in football this season. So pretty crazy stuff, but I think the Giants end up having to go to a couple of tough games on the road with the Niners in the middle of that, and you're going to want to see an answer, a response from this Giants team. They can win next week, definitely. They can win against this Eagles team. They've already done it, but it's going to be on the road. It's going to be tough, and you're going to have to deal with the growing pains of a rookie quarterback, as you saw in this game against Denver. So a really gut punch of a loss for this Giants team, and they fall to 2-5 on the year. But they have a very tough test coming up on the weekend. The Philadelphia Eagles, that's where they travel, down to the Link in Philadelphia, and we'll preview that on Friday's episode. But let's move things to the other side of New York. And when you think it can't get much worse, oh wait, it can. The New York Jets took on the Carolina Panthers on Sunday at MetLife Stadium, and it's the Panthers who came out on top 13-6 in a snooze fest of a battle, and the defenses really stepped up on both sides, but the Jets offense was the story of the game. Justin Fields did not look good in the first half once again, and really what should have been done a week ago, he's benched at halftime. Tyrod Taylor comes in at quarterback and kind of gave a spark to the offense, but it just wasn't enough, and he throws 2 interceptions that J.C. Horn made a couple of great plays on, but at least the Jets really tried to move the ball downfield. They weren't doing any of that in the first half with Justin Fields at quarterback. He could not get anything going, and Tyrod Taylor, who comes into the game at halftime, immediately is slinging the ball around 22 passing attempts to Fields' 12, 126 passing yards for Taylor compared to 46 for Justin Fields. But it was the 2 interceptions for Tyrod Taylor that were the difference. And he tried to find his wide receivers. I give him credit. He threw the ball downfield, even though he's not the most confident quarterback when it comes to throwing deep balls. He's more of a in the pocket or rushing type of quarterback. I think that's really what it comes down to, is you have to have a little bit of confidence in Justin Fields to throw the ball deep. You don't have any of that, though. He's proved time in, time out that he cannot throw a deep ball. He can't throw really any ball. Only 6 completions in this game, took multiple sacks, 3 of them to be exact. And when you look at this offense, they were without their top weapon in Garrett Wilson for this game. They had multiple guys, Tyler Johnson, Josh Reynolds, who both got involved at the wide receiver position, even Allen Lazard as well. But just the conversion rate, Josh Reynolds had 9 targets in this game and only caught 3 balls. Mason Taylor also got involved at the tight end position, 3 receptions, 31 yards on 5 targets. In this game going in, I was expecting Mason Taylor to have 6, 7, 8 receptions. They didn't get him the ball enough, and you give credit to Carolina's D. You give credit to J.C. Horn, who made 2 phenomenal plays on 2 interceptions against Tyrod, but this Jets offense has to really just go back to the starting board. They have to reset everything. Breece Hall has to get the ball more than just 11 touches out of the backfield and 2 touches out wide. I mean, that's abysmal. In a game where Garrett Wilson is not playing, Breece Hall getting 13 total touches is ridiculous. They should trade him soon if they don't have that in mind already, because they got to get something for him. He's not going to come back. There's no chance of that. I mean, this team is abysmal right now. And how can you go back to a team, if you're Breece Hall, that just does not give you the ball when you deserve it? You're one of the best running backs in the league at your peak. And the Jets just continue to go to their other weapons, even without Garrett Wilson in the lineup. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. And I think when you look at Breece Hall, he should be very fed up right now and probably ask for a trade pretty soon, because he deserves it. He deserves to get the ball in his hands, and the Jets just continue to find ways to not give it to him. They had to play catch-up in this game, and they did not do so well with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback. I do think Tyrod Tyrod did a solid job, like I mentioned a moment ago, of getting the ball downfield, something that Justin Fields was unable to do. He threw some long balls, and even Tyler Johnson, a 35-yard catch, is just one of the talking points for Tyrod that you say, okay, this is exactly what we're looking for from this offense. You have to really test the defense deep, and the Jets don't do that ever with Fields at quarterback. So they head into a very interesting matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals this weekend. The question coming in, will Tyrod Taylor start at quarterback for the Jets this week? If I'm the Jets, I mean, you can only go up from here, and he gives you a better chance of getting this offense rolling, giving your receivers some confidence, giving your running game some confidence. Justin Fields does none of that right now. He's had plenty of times where he's just been in the pocket, holding onto the ball too long. He's really, when he's at his peak, he's running the ball a lot. He only had 4 carries in this game total. So, I mean, he's really coming back down to earth, and the Jets really need something to go for them on offense, especially against the Bengals defense that has not been great this year. You have to really test these Bengals corners and the Bengals secondary. I think when you look at it, Tyrod Taylor will be starting at quarterback. I would be shocked if they go with Justin Fields, but we'll preview that game on Friday's episode. We'll see what happens. The Jets fall to 0-7 for the third time in franchise history as the Panthers move to 4-3, and they win it 13-6 at MetLife Stadium. Let's finish things off today in the world of basketball, and yes, that's right, the NBA is back, and it all starts on Tuesday evening. We'll start, though, on Wednesday as the New York Knicks take on the Cleveland Cavaliers in the season opener at MSG, and the Knicks come into this game as 3.5-point favorites, total sitting at 229.5. What a massive season it is for the New York Knicks. They have a lot of injuries on their side in the conference, and one of the favorites to come out of the East this year, Boston dealing with injuries to Jason Tatum. You also have the Indiana Pacers dealing with the injury to Tyrese Halliburton, who knocked out the Knicks a season ago. So the Knicks, one of the favorites in the Eastern Conference. They have a lot of new guys as well. Some new guys off the bench that they can rely on. Something more so that they wanted after last year with Tom Thibodeau not really giving the bench too much time, giving us starters a lot of time. And they have a new head coach for one of those reasons. Mike Brown will be leading the Knicks this year, and it's going to be a great year for the Knicks. But it all starts on Wednesday as Cleveland comes to town, and this is going to be a tough matchup for the Knicks. I know the Knicks come in as 3.5-point favorites, but Cleveland's going to keep this one close as they have a lot of motivation on their side as well. They are going to be without 2 of their big players. It's going to be Darius Garland, who's out for this one. He's probably not going to return till the beginning of November or so. And you have Max Strus, who had offseason surgery. He's going to be out for a couple of months now, it looks like, and probably won't return till early December. They also have a game-time decision in DeAndre Hunter, a big forward for them, heading into this matchup against New York. The Knicks have a lot of injuries on their side as well. Nothing crazy, but some game-time decisions. Josh Hart's a game-time decision, as well as Mitchell Robinson, the big man down low. You also have game-time decisions for Karl Anthony Towns, as well as OG Anunoby. So the Knicks, you'll see what happens, who's going to play, who's not going to play in this one against Cleveland, but really starts off with a bang for this Knicks team. They have to get a win early and show that they're the top team in the conference. They're top dogs this year with some of those injuries to those other teams. One of the teams that they're going to have to face off against towards the end, it looks like, is the Cleveland Cavaliers. So you make a statement early on your home floor on opening night. It could be a good sign for the Knicks for the future of this season. So we'll see what happens as the Knicks open the season at MSG. It should be a great one. The Cleveland Cavaliers come to town. Make sure you tune in. 7 o'clock tomorrow. It's Knicks and Cavs at MSG. But that will do it for episode 116 of the MudWatch Sports Podcast. Please subscribe below. I've been Zach Malum, and thanks for watching, and talk to you all on Friday.